I'm always curious about the modular because it's been coming up. It came up with DRA Global. It's sort of getting sprinkled through a lot of any of the mining shows. It seems to sort of pop its head up with it modular. And it's this is not. I mean, it's not new. It's been around for how many years have they been doing the modular now?
For GEKKO, over 20 years now.
For 20 years, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's very. Is it becoming more commonplace now? Are you seeing or?
It's becoming more complex at even higher levels, like larger plants. You look at all our large competitors we have; they're making modular construction for their equipment they supply. But it is big because it's something. Probably the largest cost of an operation is your startup costs.
Yeah, you were saying there was one that's about a year and so it would have taken a year and a half instead of 6 months.
Well, quite often, yeah, we're basically looking at if you start a new plant up, it could be by the time your startup equipment gets there, it'll be there in pieces as it comes in.
Right.
And it can take a year, 18 months to get the plant actually ready for commissioning. Where if you do modular, it's like with GEKKO, we do the whole plant is fabricated, put together, installed, and tested in Ballarat. And it's put in containers. There's a picture there shows.
Actually, yeah, I want to show it because we have talked about it on the show. We haven't really brought up images for people that, and these pop up on the screen later and that. So we'll look over here on it.
But
Is that a whole plant in all those containers?
That's a whole plant, all those containers. It was ordered basically August one year, and it was on site August next year, 1 year later.
On site and then getting set up, or
and getting set up. So we started. It arrived at site or started construction in September, and by February they get first gold. And so basically, when or our guys' logistics is important, is loading on the ship and loading off in a certain order. So your first container is the first container goes in the plant. It's got to be a certain order.
Oh, right.
Really?
And so we plan that already. We basically read from when it leaves our shop to go to the site.
Yeah.
And as it comes in, it's basically all set. You put a unit down, next one down, almost like a plug and play, and hook it up.
Yeah.
And set up. So your construction is a lot quicker. You don't have to hook the pipes up, instrumentation. You check the communication as you go along, but it's already been factory tested.
Right.
And so it makes it much quicker. And in terms of like by December they were starting to commission the plant. So within 4 months, the plant's ready for commissioning, and that's so it makes a big difference.
Right.
And for remote sites like this one here, Hope Bay, it's up in Nunavut, and so there's no roads in there. The ships can get there for a small period, about a 4-week period, once a year.
Wow.
And so logistics, we had to have stuff in that gap ready to go. But if you're trying to deliver a large plant from different suppliers all over the place, that's just a nightmare to make it work.
Yeah.
And so it's all ready commissioned, ready to go. You see all the containers there.
Yeah.
Everything's inside a container, just basically put in place, put it, the higher pieces back on, and away you go.
Yeah.
And so it's like we did that with all the sub-suppliers. GEKKO didn't supply all the plant ourselves.
Right.
Basically, like the crushers, the grinding mills, the filter presses, were all through partners.
Yeah.
And they came together and basically helped us put this in a modular format.
Right.
And it made it much quicker and easier for the end user.
Do we have any pictures of sort of what that, like any of them being shipped or opened up or anything like that?
Yeah, actually, if you go one top left there.
The yellow?
Yeah.
Oops.
That's the same plant after it's been taken out. And as you see up the center, there's the yellow containers of GEKKO.
Yeah.
That's all the MCC rooms. So the MCC rooms are shipped up there ahead of time.
Oh, I see.
And so the wiring's already done. And all that equipment there, like the 2 lines there, that's intensive leach reactors, continuous. Bottom left is that's a batch ILR. And then the ball mill down there. So it's all packaged up, ready to go. And so this is just putting it together.
So in comparison, so that same plant, if you were, because it seems, again, if you're from the outside looking in, if I'm building if it's in Australia and I'm putting the pieces together as they're coming in, there's a huge amount of organization that happens on your end. But in comparison, you'd actually be a standard, well, not a standard because a lot of people aren't doing it that way, but the other way of doing it is you go to 20 different suppliers. Basically, an engineering firm has to
Organized.
piece all this together, and then this one's not coming for 3 months, but this one's, they've actually had one that the order got canceled, so it's coming in a month early and all that sort of stuff. Whereas this is, it's a big part of it must just be the organization of it coming in as it's supposed to come in.
Well, and it's the same idea when we have, because we're using sub-suppliers, is basically is making sure they fit the schedule, because the ship left Melbourne.
Oh, we got a little issue going on.
Sorry.
The ship left Melbourne and basically had to stop a couple of stops to pick up the equipment from other suppliers. And so the communication, it was the same idea what engineering firm has to do for it. But we worked with the guys to make it all modular. So we try to get all the equipment shipped to Ballarat and modularize it.
Oh, I see.
And the larger equipment, like we can do full plants, we'll do a test assembly and take it apart. It'd be like, then after it's almost like, I guess, a box mechano.
Yeah.
You put it together as per the instructions.
Right.